Hello and welcome back to another Millsurp HQ podcast. We are back from Kansas City. That's right, we made it, and I'm happy to report I survived my first trip out to the middle of the country. So today we're going to bring you our part 2 of the Military Arms Show, or I've been calling it the AfterKC Show. And I'm Tom, and as always, I'm with a person who I met and know in real life. Kelly, what's up?
Howdy, everyone. Thank you all for joining, and thank you for coming back.
Yeah, so we got to meet up finally, so that was cool. And we got to meet up with Danny and a lot of cool people. So let me remind everyone why we even went to Kansas City. We're part of the Millsurp World podcast crew, the Discord. That's the one that's run by Danny and Aaron. And a group of us there that have been for years talking about meeting up decided to finally do it. And Danny lives in KC, said there's a show coming up. So next thing you know, I'm sweating my balls off in 100-degree heat in Missouri.
It wasn't that bad.
Well, you're from Texas. You're probably comfortable with that, but I'm not. So we had about 15 or so of us, I think. Half were local, others flew and drove over, and the destination was the show, but also Danny's legendary wall of firearms. But the main thing was the 52nd annual Missouri Valley Arms Collectors Association show, 700 table show that's held over at the airport.
And to help us talk about our experiences there, we have one of the guys that joined us out there, Evan. Thank you for joining us, Evan.
Thanks for having me.
What's up?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Good. And we have to ask you, like everyone has to be asked, what do you collect? What is your focus? Let's get some insight.
Sure. So I've kind of jumped down a couple rabbit holes here. I started primarily with World War II handguns. The longer I'm in the Millsurp World Discord, the more Japanese rifles I've also collected.
The Discord is good for a lot of things, but if you ask if you should buy something, the answer's gonna be yes. So
always.
Yeah, those are some deep rabbit holes to go down. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
And so World War II pistols. Wow. So did you now then get into the rifles?
So I was kind of born into Millsurp collecting. My dad has pretty much all of the World War II through Vietnam War rifles done.
Wow.
Oh, that's cheating.
Yeah. So, my brother and I have a deal kind of set out for the inheritance.
Well, I'm not from a free state, so in the hotel lobby were people walking around with guns slung over their back. It was crazy. And even online, the line was built up right at the opening each day, and there was just a good percentage, maybe 15% of people brought rifles to be sold. So I'm not used to seeing all those guns out in public.
It always feels weird when you first get to a gun show and you're like bringing a rifle. You're like, am I at the right place? Am I walking into somewhere with a rifle over my shoulder I'm not supposed to be? And you see other people doing it. Okay, all right, I'm in the right place.
And Eva, where are you? You're nearby though, right?
I'm in Indiana.
Oh, you're nearby. You're states away, right?
Yeah, I did make the mistake of driving to KC.
How long was that?
How long was that? That was about 9.5.
Ooh, yeah, that's about how far it would have been for me. Jeez.
Yeah, I heard you drove, so I thought you were local. But oh wow, more power to you. 9.5 hours. So how's your state then in comparison to is it a free state? I don't know much about Indiana.
We're pretty good on gun laws, but I mean we have constitutional carry now.
And more importantly, is it 105 degrees there?
No, thankfully. Getting quite a bit of rain recently.
Oh geez.
Today is only 103, so yeah.
It's dry heat. So on the last show, we talked about Fridays being rumored to be the day where you get all these deals, and it's the vendor setup day, and they wheel and deal and offer things for a discount and whatnot. And for this trip, we were members of the Missouri Valley Arms Association, so we had access to Friday, which was awesome. So we got to get in there and see if it's a rumor or not. Spoiler alert, there are deals to be had on Friday.
Oh, yeah. It felt just like the regular gun show, just far less people, and like half the tables weren't set up. But there were vendors were definitely open. The deals were being being made, guns were bought.
Yeah, so all right, so let's paint a little picture here for the listeners. So it was a expo center, so it was a big giant empty rectangle. The website says 70,000 square feet, holds 4,000 people, and I believe they had over 700 tables this year. So it's this big giant room. The rules, though, for buying a table said only firearms, armor, and military historical items are allowed on exhibit.
Yeah,
So,
that's nice.
so I went in expecting no tasers, jellies, and jerkies, but I didn't expect to walk in and it was just wall to wall wooden stocked guns. Beautiful.
Yeah, that was a pleasant surprise because like at any gun show, you expect to see like the table full of ARs, and a table full of Glocks and modern pistols and yada yada yada. But yeah, there was like one or two of those out of the 700 tables, and the rest was just old milsurps or lever actions. There were some like hunting shotgun tables and stuff like that, but it was vast majority milsurps and other old guns, which you never see. That's why it was such a good show to go to. That's why they chose this one, and they hyped it up, and they were right.
Yeah. How about in Indiana? Do you have shows that compare to this?
So I grew up going to gun shows. I'm still in my 20s, but I feel like they've definitely kind of fallen off. Definitely smaller than the KC show. You get roofing companies, stuff like
Uh,
that.
yeah, this was unique from what I hear with some of the other larger shows like Tulsa, that because Tulsa has the jerkies and the jellies. So the fact that it kept those out and it was still not all ARs and other things that it could have been was amazing. Like,
Yeah,
what was the first thing you guys saw when you walked in that stood out,
First thing
if
I
anything?
saw was it was a Type 99 Arisaka sniper.
That would stand out?
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely good.
I think the very first table I saw was like some Japanese katanas, like World War II era. There's like a whole rack of them, like right in front of the door as you walked in.
I walked in, but there was people kind of, congregating right in front, so I had to go to the right a little bit, and I saw the left-handed 1903 Springfield table.
Oh yeah,
It
that
was
was a unique one, and that
so
was part of the displays they had there, which is another unique thing you don't see at a lot of gun shows.
yeah. So we had this big rectangle, and like most of the outside, I guess most of the outside of the back and on the sides were set up displays that we're talking hundreds of $1,000s worth of guns just for display with look like school projects. Some of them, like oak tag on, and
Yeah.
every Winchester rifle from the first model to the last. There was a Marlin table, every model. They had a display contest, and that was obvious. They needed one of those because all the displays were so great.
Yep, and that's how we got into the show because we were part of the Milsurp World group, and the Danny at Milsurp World had a display table there, so they go in and set up Friday, so we're able to join and help out, but also go around and look at everything. So there's a little tip and trick. I think they might have mentioned that, like, yeah, have a display table. If you're not selling anything, you can still get in early and see all the good stuff on Friday.
And speaking of that display table, Danny's table was great. He had a G41, a G43, a couple of K98s, and all those medals, German medals in uniform.
Yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff, and it was helpful to have like a home base since there's so many of us there, and everybody's like buying stuff, and they don't want to carry it around for the rest of the day, so they'll just like take it and put it under the table, and they know it's a safe spot, or come in, have a seat, or go grab a drink or something, and come back.
And as far as wheeling and dealing, I saw more than one table have two vendors. One guy would go off, buy something, come back and say, I just bought this, blah blah blah, put it out for this much, and go back out.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
there
they're
was,
definitely.
there was a lot of turnover.
Oh yeah, definitely plenty of that.
Now, tell them about the bayonet issue with that idiot.
Yeah, so some people can be a little weird about the Friday sales versus other day sales. So there was a Swiss sawback bayonet, and the table I found it at, it was $300 on that Friday when everyone was setting up. This guy's already all set up; he's just chilling there. And I didn't want to spend all my money on the first day, so I'm like, I'll wait and see what else I see tomorrow on Saturday because we're spending the whole day there Saturday. So Saturday comes, and I only spent a little bit, so I still had some cash left over. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go get that bayonet because I want to saw back. Who doesn't? And then when I go over there, I'm like, hey, I'm interested in the sawback. I'll take it. He's like, all right, $400. I'm like, what? It was $300 yesterday. He's like, well, there's people here now. There's more demand for it. I'm like, no,
I
there's
couldn't
not.
believe it.
It's still here. There's clearly not demand for it. If it's still here, it was $300 yesterday. He's like, nope, 400. I'll come down to 350 and meet you in the middle. I'm like, no, it's 300 yesterday. I want to pay 300, and so we didn't find a deal. So I believe he went home with it on Sunday. So that's on him for having dumb rules like that.
Yeah, it was amazing that he said that. There's people here now. That's the difference.
So I guess dealers have their own special pricing for other dealers too.
Yeah. I'd say like 85% or so of the tables were probably set up by Friday, maybe 80% or something. But did you see some people set them up and then covered them right away? They didn't sell anything on Friday.
Yeah, they just covered them, went home. They just waited for Saturday.
And some people put a note. They left their table unattended and just had a note. If you're interested in a price, call this number. I'm here at the show. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, they were walking around buying stuff.
The vibe on Friday was awesome like that. It was so less crowded. You could play with everything. You could negotiate quietly. The Saturday was maybe 3 times as many people, right? I think it was a lot.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, the aisles were packed. Everyone was looking at everything. There were tons of people there. It was crowded the whole day pretty much.
Price-wise, overall, did you think it was cheaper than what the going rate on everything? No way. Or how much more expensive, I should say. I didn't think it was so bad. Personally, I thought it was like the prices were kind of like 10 to 20% higher than the deals you could find.
Yeah, and they always build in room for negotiation at gun shows, as we heard with Matt last time. But yeah, overall, I'd say like they weren't bad. There's nothing. I mean, I'm sure there were some outstanding deals to be had. Probably got all snatched up on Friday, but some were obviously ridiculous, like that one table we talked about with Milsurp World. But overall, I mean, seemed pretty fair. What held me back a lot was I had to fly home, so if I bought something like a rifle or pistol, I got to figure out how to get it home, whether it be shipping or trying to check a bag and dealing with that nonsense.
Right. Yeah, like the best deals that I saw were ones that were just priced right, you know? Like
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that was a steal by any means, personally.
I'd agree with that.
Right. I mean, and the few things that I thought were pretty good deals or priced right were gone the next time I went back. So,
Oh yeah, things went quick.
I wrote down a few things that I remembered was I was looking at the M1 Garans or Garans, just to see what the lowest price I could find. The lowest price I saw was 1,400.
Wow.
And it was a H&R.
I think I saw one for 1,000. It was just like your standard rack grade from the CMP, which is like 750 if you go there. So, meh. That one probably got
gone by the time I got there.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Enfields. Now, if the price was right, I would figure out how to get it home. But I was looking for things anyway.
Yeah,
the Enfields were a little expensive.
Yeah, there weren't a lot of the one thing I did see a lot of was Japanese stuff. It seemed like there was a ton of Japanese stuff at this show. Like every third table seemed like had a Type 99 or Type 38. I think I saw like 8 different Type 38 carbines, and there was like at least 2 or 3 Type 94 Nambus. Weirdly, 4 to 6 baby Nambus and like 2 Papa Nambus. There was a ton of Japanese stuff here.
No Type 30 though. What was that, Evan?
There was a Grandpa Nambu even.
Oh yeah, that's right. With like the stock and everything. Yeah, you never see that kind of stuff.
Right. There was no Type 30, which I happened to be looking for and didn't see. But all those other ones, yes, that Japanese was by far the most represented, I think.
Other than German or American, which that's any Milsurp.
Yeah, but even those, there was a lot of 1903 variations. I did notice, but there wasn't a lot of 1917s.
Yeah, I saw at least. I mean, I saw 5 or 6 of them.
Oh,
probably.
geez. Maybe I'm not looking as good as you are.
Yeah, I got an eye for them, but yeah, I saw 5 or 6, which
I
that's
thought I
not
saw like
crazy.
3 or so. Because I was
Yeah.
trying to price them all.
I mean, they're more common to see than a lot of other things. What else did I see there? Oh yeah, I saw like 10 Enfield or Webley revolvers there, and they're almost all of them were too expensive except one table. I really thought about getting it, but it was like maybe $50 under market or like $75 under market. So I'm like, I don't really need it. Let somebody else have the deal. I can find one eventually. It's not high on my list, kind of thing.
So what were the ones you kept going back to? Didn't you have that Bodeo or something?
Oh, so the one I really wanted that was there was a Ross and Gasser
That was cool.
1898, which is the Austro-Hungarian revolver of World War One, and they had it at 750, and it was a little rough. And 750 is about market, and I wanted to pay under market, so I offered. I went back and looked at it, and I didn't find anything the rest of the day. I offered 650, which I thought would be if I could get for 650, I'd take that, and I would deal with getting it home. And the table was a little bit weird. They had a lot of good stuff, but they're like, "Oh, we price our stuff fairly. We don't really negotiate. We'll do 725." I'm like, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I'm like, no, I'm good. Never mind.
But what sucked is every time we went somewhere, we kept passing that table. And
Yeah,
it was
just
there.
mocking me. But yeah, that was odd. That, like, you don't negotiate and you come to a gun show. Like, come on.
Yeah, he kind of had the "I know what I got" kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and some of their stuff was like crazy price. Like I think they had a G41 that some of the local guys said that they've had for years, and it was like 9,500 when they're going for like $6,000 regularly.
You know, one of the deals that I would have jumped on if I was buying hardcore would be the Arasaka that one of the guys in our group got. Like I said before, the people are walking in with guns on their back, and a lot of them would put a sign and just tape it to the gun saying, Arasaka 650 or whatever it was. And this guy had a early Arasaka, right, with monopod anti-aircraft wings, and it was 850.
850
I, I mean, that was
With
the winner.
with the
Dana.
bayonet.
True, yeah, with the beta. I mean,
Yeah,
that was a great deal.
and I think he talked him down a little bit too. Yeah, that was one of the solid deals there. Evan, do you end up getting anything?
I just bought a book on German handguns, but I'm kind of in this. I was in the same boat as Tom, where I spent a little bit of my money before I left for the show, and
No,
couldn't exactly get what I wanted at the show.
messed up.
I there were some decent deals on handguns. I saw some decent priced Beretta 1934s and 35s.
Yeah, there were like an oddly high number of those. I think I saw probably about a half dozen also.
Yeah, I saw one under 5.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I know there was a couple of Type 94s that were reasonably priced. Also, the surrender pistols.
Yeah, I actually heard a Fudd say "surrender pistol" as he was walking by.
Oh boy. Yeah, there was some good Fudd lore there for sure.
The
Yeah, we can get into some FUD lore because they, they I don't like ganging up on the FUDs, but they volunteer and push themselves into your life without you asking.
We'll give you a comment on anything, no matter what.
Right. Even Evan now does not have long hair like some sort of hippie.
right. So the vendor who was selling that Swiss sawback was the one who told me I needed to get a haircut and go talk to my local recruiter. So that would be the best decision I ever made.
Just say something to piss him off, or what? You just looked at him wrong.
I was just looking at his wares.
Hey kid, join the army. No, I'm okay.
Yeah, so the FUDs were sharing a lot of info. On Millsop World, they talked about the one where they used they used 7.7 Japanese in the M1 in a pinch. Is that how it was?
Yeah, it was something like, oh, if the GIs ran out of ammo, they could take 7.7 Japanese for the Arasaka, and they could fire that out of their Garand if they needed to.
Yeah, and so Danny had some 7.7 brass and just jammed it into his Garand, and
Got to try it.
it got stuck. Did not extract.
It got very stuck because it was an already fired case, and Arisakas tend to have generous chambers.
Right. We're thinking that it expanded way too much. But
So
after a
yeah,
couple of bangs, you got it out.
took some mortaring to get that out. Yeah, to go up and help them. But now I'm kind of curious, like if I had like a unfired piece, could I try that?
I'm not trying it. I have a dummy round. I thought about it and I said no. I don't want to do it. One fun thing I heard was someone was looking at one of the German guns, and I heard him lean over and say, "You got to be careful. German stuff after 43 is dangerous." So not even. I can understand maybe saying it for the 45 stuff.
43
after 43.
Jeez.
So that's more stuff for us, though.
Yeah, please. Yeah, lower your prices on it.
Oh, there was a few of the regular old school Fudd lore. If the mum is ground, that means it's a capture. That's it, 100%.
Yep, guaranteed capture.
This Carcano is the same that killed JFK.
Oh yeah, any Carcano or any Mannlicher action in general. Well, that's one of them JFK rifles.
And then the one table that got a lot of attention was that sniper table. And I don't know enough about the snipers. I only seen these things in books, But apparently they put out like 20 or so sniper variants, each $8,000 to $15,000 on the tag. And apparently almost every one of them was incorrect in some way, or right, or less than ideal.
Or they were twice as much as they usually go for. Yeah, they just had insane prices on everything.
So from one aspect, it was just great to see these things. You see these things in books. It was great to pick them up and play with them and everything. But no one's walking around with 15,000 to throw on a non-matching sniper rifle.
Yeah, and if they are buying one, they've probably done their research and can tell.
You're right. Was there any more Fudd shit?
There's somebody walking around with a SMLE on their back, I think, and I overheard they were walking past some table and somebody said, "What kind of Mosin you got there?" It's just like, God damn it! Everything is either a Mosin or like a Springfield, no matter what it is.
And the coolest vendor I thought was that M1 parts guy, who the whole like middle of the show was a guy who had every part for the M1 Garand carbine, the 1903s, but right, like every screw, every spring,
like every single
So, and he kept saying it like he was joking, but he was serious, saying like you could piece together your own. I was like, all right.
Yeah, he said like if bring me a receiver and I can build you an entire rifle, and he absolutely could. He had every single part from every single manufacturer. It seemed like,
and he wanted me to do it the way he was saying it. But I said, go get me a receiver. He was like hardcore.
It'd be kind of cool to do.
If you could do it before the end of the show, I'll buy it. So that was overall compared to my shows, it was it was like a dream show because like sheer size. I have 25 tables at my show, and half of them are Milsurp related, but then they're militaria, so you end up with like 5 good tables.
Yeah, about the same for me. Like our shows get pretty big, but yeah, there's a lot of like there'll be 4 tables that all have the same modern pistols and ARs and jellies and jams and jerkies and roofing tiles and random shit like that, and there'll be like 4 Milsurp tables out of the 300 there.
Well, I'll definitely go back just for that reason that you're going to see. It's not going to be a waste.
Oh yeah, Tulsa is definitely worth going to too. It was like 3 times that big. You can literally walk the whole show. It would take an entire day just to walk and not even look at anything, just to walk between the rows.
Oh, the auction houses were there, Morphe's and Poulin's, and it's even more affiliated maybe.
Simpson and Old Steel.
For some reason, they put out these displays of their high-end rifles and pistols that are on their upcoming auctions. And I mean, there was a Type 4 Garand copy. There was the
Vickers Garand, the 22 Trainer, gas trap Garand.
Like, oh my God, what were those things? Like $100,000 estimates?
Yeah, they're like 40 to 50K, and Yeah, we were chatting with the Poolins guy, and he's like, "Yeah, pick him up, take a look." I was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah.
So
Probably the
had to
only
be
time I'll be able to hold a Type 4.
Yeah, right.
yeah, Type 4 Japanese Korean copy. I'm like, I never thought I'd see one of those in person. Here I am holding one. And yeah, it was pretty weird.
And SVT 38, some guy had, like, there was so many things that I've been dying to fiddle around with.
Yeah, there was like 3 of those. I think I saw. What was that?
There were 3.
3. Yeah, 3 of those. I saw 2 Webley Fosberries, the zigzag revolvers. We mentioned all the different, the whole family of Nambus.
Yeah.
The MJ42 and 6.5.
Oh my god.
Yes, that was
Yeah, there was plenty
double-edged
of dumb
sword.
stuff
I
too.
wanted to see, MG42, play with it, but it was in 6.5 Creedmoor, I believe.
Of all things.
Yeah.
There was some dumb stuff there too, for sure.
And I'm gonna say now, the coolest thing any of our guys got was Matt got the law rocket tube.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
So you hit the
Oh
button,
yeah.
yeah,
He got a good deal
pops
on that.
out, the sight pops up. It's really, he got a nice law rocket tube.
Yeah, a lot of the guys in the group got some good deals. Like, I remember when I first walked in there Friday when they were still setting up. I'm looking for the group, and the first thing I see is Danny with a Swedish AG-42 Lidgeman in each hand.
Yeah, he bought 2 before we even got there.
Yeah. He discussed it on his podcast. He's like, "Well, I bought one for 1,500, then I saw another one for 1,200. And I mean, I can't say no to that. I just bought this for 15. I'm gonna say no to
Right,
the
he
one
has a
for 12."
sickness. Yeah, our guys made out pretty well. Besides the Type 99 and that, Mike picked up the Martini Henry, the old Swiss Vetterli, and 2 trench guns.
Oh, he
Or
got a trench and a
one
riot
was a
gun.
real, yeah, riot gun and a trench gun.
And yeah, he got a little burned on that trench gun because the barrel was just a hair short, but it was still a legit trench gun. Just had like the barrel cut down at some point. But always remember to ask an expert on those. And then yeah, somebody got an Italian TS carbine bayonet for a pretty good deal, like half what they go for. Somebody got an East German Makarov. Oh yeah, Mike got a Walther Model 9, the tiny little 25.
Right, so small.
Plenty of other bayonets. I got a couple of boxes of 9mm Steyr ammo.
Someone got a Viz 35, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, Milsurp
Yeah.
Duo got a Viz 35.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick also got the Gewehr 88.
Oh, that was a nice one. That's right.
I had unit marks on the rail for some reason, which is weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, a lot of good stuff there. Plenty of people bought stuff. I could have bought more, but
So we had a small contest where we said for $20 or less, go out and find something and we'll vote on it. And my entry was a rear sight that screws onto a Garand or a M1 carbine or a 1903, new or in the wrapper from World War II. And Kelly, you had
so I got it was a hand trap, like to throw clays with using a little hand tosser thing. It was like vintage from the 1960s or 70s, brand new in the box, never been used. And it's like all wood and metal and springs and stuff, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And a friend Mike got a can of emergency water
From 1944.
Well, let's just be happy it wasn't an emergency because we opened it and
It was metal colored.
yeah,
Probably tasted like iron, straight iron.
A little bit of cement in there.
yeah, a little.
And then Matt got a like FAL instruction booklet that has like a big old blueprint that you could like take out and frame. That was really cool looking.
Right.
And then I think one other guy, he went over the $20 limit, but he got some Japanese cigarettes from World War II, which I think that was the winner of the competition.
Yeah, that's why he won, because it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was a little more, but that was awesome. And no, we didn't smoke them. I told him to smoke them, but he wouldn't do it. I mean, maybe you'll throw up, but whatever. The only other things that I was looking at gun wise was there was a trapdoor in 1866, and I was waiting a while for the price because the person wasn't there. Kept going back, and then finally some guy who I don't want to be offensive to the elderly, but he looked like he could have used it in war. This old man. He had an insane price, so I didn't buy that. It was like 1,400, but it was so beat up. I'm thinking maybe it's an antique and it's beat up. Maybe the poor man will have a nice price, but no. Like I said before, the deals weren't so numerous. They were like a lot of things were just priced right, so that I didn't feel like I was really close to buying anything.
Yeah, if you were like dead set on like looking for something, like I'm gonna buy this, and like as long as you're fine with paying market price, you probably could have found it there. But if you were looking for like the steals, they were probably all
Yeah.
gone Friday.
I think for me, it reminded me a lot of the stuff you would see at Nom Creek on the tables there.
In a good way or a bad way?
A good way, good way. You'd see a lot
Okay,
of clips, a lot of military, some of the oddballs, I remember seeing a Lati at Nom Creek.
nice. Yeah, I've never been, but RIP.
Rest in peace.
I was looking for an Italian Badeo, and I didn't see a single one there, so didn't end up getting that one. But I got it the next weekend.
Oh, I have written here. I just reminded myself. See, I brought my notebook. Remember, I said I brought my notebook and pen to make my little notes, and I wrote down the long Lee. It was 1,800 though, so I'm not
Yeah,
buying
I
it.
know one of our guys was looking at that, and he was thinking about it if he could talk him down.
But I was playing with it, and it's such good condition, and it has the volley sights on it, and it's all crisp markings. It was beautiful. Oh,
One day.
right. At least I saw it how it's beautiful. The one I'll get one day is going to be not as good as that. That's for sure. And next time I'm going to bring. I'll check a bag. That way, I'll because you can't put too many bayonets and ammo on your on your carry-on these days.
You can't put any. And
Right. None.
that's what I got a couple of boxes of ammo, and the Matt who we had on last time. We were on the same flight, and he got some bayonets. So we checked a bag together.
Oh,
And
how
that ended up
cute.
being our downfall because yeah, we were traveling on the same flight because we live like 45 minutes from each other, and flight ended up being a complete shit show. And our check bag meant that we couldn't change planes at one point. We had to go to a different city, and yeah, it was a nightmare getting back.
Well,
But still fun overall.
I mean, it was you're downplaying a little bit because it ended with you in a hotel taking the flight the following morning.
Yeah, it took about 30 hours to get home. So yeah, missed half a day of work, but no, that's
So maybe
all
I
right.
shouldn't check a bag next time. Jeez.
Yeah, depends how much faith you have in your airline.
And then I do want to give a shout out to the World War One Museum. We went there on Sunday, and it's Kansas City. It's the middle of nowhere to me, but this is a top-notch museum.
Oh yeah, it's the National World War One Museum. So yeah, great museum. Sad we missed out on the Dan Carlin VR experience, but still had a good time.
Right. It's a lot for rifle lovers, for uniform lovers, for cannon and artillery lovers. They had a lot of stuff. It was a nice end to all the stuff we saw. That was a nice end to the history of it all.
Yeah, I'm set in the museum.
Yeah, if you're ever in the area, it's worth checking out for sure.
But maybe in a month where it's not 105 degrees. That's all I'm saying. I like it. It's nice and cool here today. It was in the 70s today. That's what I like.
Must be nice.
All right, I think we covered everything here. So let's do a little recap here. The Friday rumor of it being deals is true. There are deals to be had on Friday.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
Right. And it was great that we got in there to see it. It was so less crowded. It was awesome. And this particular show, because of they limited the non-military tables, was a phenomenal high number of milsurp tables versus, I mean, like gun tables versus anything else table. Like there could have been a lot of just like books and ammo and parts, but there was mostly gun tables. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was nice to see.
So, giving some credit to the Missouri Valley Arms Association for putting together a great show. And everyone I met from the organization was awesome too. So we went over some of the deals we almost got and didn't get. The guys raising the price on Saturday.
Some good Fudd lore overheard.
We talked about our
Great.
Fuddler. Remember, the German shit is bad after 43. It's at 7.7 fits at a grand. Put shoot it. No, don't do that, please. We talked about some of this weird. Oh, there was a rare Glock setup thing there. That was one of the weirdest things there.
Jokes.
Sexy photos. Talked about the Heat and KC, of course, and all the other shit we saw. Oh, and the winner of the game, by the way, was the. Oh, we did say that, right? That was the Japanese cigarettes. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
I think that's it, fellas. We made it. We survived.
Oh yeah. Overall, it was a great show. I mean, everyone got along real well. Felt like we were been friends for years. So definitely looking forward to the next meetup next year. And it might be KC, it might be Tulsa. We'll know eventually.
Right. And we have to plan better to buy stuff so we don't have to worry about shipping it home. Maybe I'll drive. And you too, Evan, you'll go back again another time?
Yeah, for sure. It was I had a great time. Everyone's super nice. Like you said, we felt like we'd been friends for a long time.
Yeah, we hung out at one of the members' house on Friday, and then Saturday we all went to the legendary Danny's Wall of Milsurp. He got to handle his Johnson, his BP, a lot of things.
I think I did 6 Johnsons on Saturday.
So he handled 6 Johnsons. So that was fun. All right. Thank you all. We will be back next time.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Evan. All right. Laters.
See ya.